One of the biggest lies I think I hear is that nursing school is harder than nurse practitioner school. That could not be more wrong. One of the biggest tips I can give you is just to really submit to that mindset and submit to the reality that NP school is going to be really hard. This video is going to be really spilling the tea on my biggest tips for surviving nurse practitioner school. I have been in NP school for almost a year now. I started in January of 2022. This has been my didactic year for my online master's to become a women's health nurse practitioner and certified nurse midwife. I'm going into my clinical year and a half starting in 2023, and I could not be more excited. This past didactic year has been rough. We've taken all of the foundational NP courses like advanced patho, advanced pharm, advanced health assessment, and then research, ethics, and biostats. It has been a journey, let me tell you that. Fun fact, this is actually not tea. It is coffee because I am addicted to caffeine. Okay, so my first tip for you guys would be to don't sweat the small stuff. I spent so much time in this past year of NP school freaking out about small assignments and secondary classes that just did not matter. Whenever you have those smaller assignments, like the discussion boards or the one-page reflection, don't spend that much time on them. The things that do not carry a big weight in your final grade, don't spend a ton of time on it. It doesn't matter in the long run. One of the most difficult things about NP school, and I think grad school just in general, is prioritization. Most of the time, grad students are working part-time, if not full-time jobs, have relationships, families, other life responsibilities because you're a full adult at this point in your life and you have other things beyond school that you're doing, and you cannot put all of your time and energy into grad school and learning the material, and that's really frustrating, especially when you love the content and actually want to do all of the readings and all of the assignments to your max capacity, but it's just not possible in this season of life. And that's been the biggest thing that's been hard for me to wrestle with, I would say. And then going off of that one, number two would be prioritization. Honestly, that should be number one probably, but as registered nurses, we are trained so well to prioritize, right? Whether it's those select all that apply NCLEX questions or in real life patient scenarios, trying to figure out how to budget your time as a new grad nurse, which patient to go see first, and figuring out what's most important in terms of tasks for the day. Those same skills are going to help you in budgeting your time in NP school. You need to figure out what is most important to focus on, what's the most high yield content, what is going to serve you in the long run in your education, and then spend the majority of your time focusing on that material and learning that content. Number three, I would say, this is very health assessment specific, but give yourself enough time for health assessment videos. So my program is online, which honestly a lot of nurse practitioner programs are online. It gives us a lot of flexibility to keep working your job, to move around, to travel nurse, whatever you want to do, and still do NP school online. Most advanced health assessment classes involve a video component where you're videoing yourself assessing another human. And thank the Lord, it was truly God's providence in allowing me to be seeing my parents each week that we had a health assessment video due, because I live alone. I have friends with crazy schedules. I had to rely on my parents, and we filmed them out of town. I filmed one in Dallas, one in Spain, one in Houston, and I got really lucky. Not everyone else is lucky like that, and it can take a lot of scrambling to put these videos together, but practice beforehand, I did not practice. I really just kind of winged my videos and somehow ended up doing well on them. But get your kit of supplies, like an otoscope, beforehand. I will link the exact equipment that I bought from Amazon, and get it early, y'all. Actually read the syllabus, order the supplies early. I ordered it the week of the video, which was not a good idea on my part. So please get your equipment in advance, prepare for these videos, actually practice, write out a video flow of how you want to assess your patient, and all of the body systems and skills you need to check off, because those videos are exhausting, they're really intimidating, but I promise you can do them. It's going to be okay. Okay, my camera is telling me that I have 3 minutes left of filming capacity, so we better hurry. When I say secondary course, I mean the non-foundational courses. So for my program, that was our ethics course, our biostats course, and our evidence-based practice course. Very important, but they're not the patho pharm health assessment ones that you're really focusing on, the bulk of your time. And I would say for these courses, pick research topics that actually interest you. I cannot tell you how much I regret picking surgical site infection antisepsis for this evidence-based practice class. It's for C-sections, so it's still obstetrics, still interests me, but I cannot read another article about chlorhexidine versus iodine in the operating room. You're gonna be reading a lot of articles, so pick something that you actually care about. That was number 4, right? Okay, well, number 5, or whatever we're on, would be, if possible, cut down on your work hours. I have worked full-time this whole year, and a lot of that was when I started NP school. I had only been a nurse for like 10 months, which is controversial, and I'll make a whole separate video about working before NP school and all of that at some point. But if you're able to cut down on work hours, like financially and just time-wise and life and everything, do it, because NP school takes a lot of your time. Of course, my camera died, so I had to let it charge, and we just went and curled our hair. Where were we? Next tip would be to read the readings. I am so hypocritical when I say this, because in nursing school, like my undergrad degree, I did not read a single textbook, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea, but for nurse practitioner school, it is absolutely a necessity. Don't read for the classes like statistics or ethics unless it's like a specific article that you're gonna have a discussion on in class. Usually the textbook readings they assign were just not helpful. So you could use that time to in-depth learn my patho chapters or my pharm chapters. Actually, I take that back. Don't read your pharm textbook. That's my one exception to this rule. I said pharm and I was like, never mind. At least for me, I do not learn pharmacology from a textbook. So that's my one exception, but for health assessment, for patho, those big classes, definitely read your textbook and prioritize that, because at least for my program, that is where all of the questions come from on quizzes and tests. So my second to last tip is going to be to find your groove. In my second semester NP school video, I briefly mentioned how I felt like I was finally finding my groove in third semester, and that's so true. I think it really took me a whole year of being in grad school to figure out how I like to budget my time, how I like to schedule things, how I study, how I do my async content, things like that. Give yourself grace, give yourself time to get settled into a program. You're not gonna have it all figured out that first week or even the first semester. It took me a good, I would say 8-9 months of being in NP school to feel like I kind of got it. And I did time blocking, I did the Pomodoro method, I meticulously go through my textbook and count how long it's going to take me to read a chapter and then schedule that chunk of time into my calendar. And I'm planning to do a whole video for you guys where I like plan for a semester in January and show you exactly how I schedule, how I plan for my weeks, how I budget time, all of that. So we'll get into details for that later, but figure out your groove, whatever works for you. Do it and just stick with it. Don't try all these different study methods. If what you did in high school or your undergrad or your other masters or whatever worked for you, do that, because you know what works for you. Don't try to change things. My last tip is a hard one, but really necessary. You need to accept the reality that nurse practitioner school is very hard, and just kind of roll with it, submit to it, go with it. It is not an easy thing you're going to do. It's max like 2 to 4 years of your life. You can do it, but you need to stop fighting the fact that it's really challenging and just do the work, put in the hours, study for the things, and realize this is gonna be a really crazy, busy season of life, and that's okay. You can still find joy and peace and balance in that, but it's not gonna be your most restful or most balanced season, and that's okay. We got this. I have one more presentation later this afternoon and a final paper to finish, so we're technically not done with semester 3, but like, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Next week I'll be in DC learning how to do pap smears and IUD insertions and Nexplanon placements and biopsies and all the really freaking cool women's health things. So yeah, I will take you along on a DC vlog, a women's health NP student vlog. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, whatever you feel like doing. I appreciate you watching and I appreciate you being here. Bye.